Okay. I pray that this video finds you in good health and a peaceful state of mind. If you're new around here, my name is Laura. I share content about my healthy hair journey, trying to encourage us all to have healthy hair practices and be confident in wearing our natural hair. So the elephant in the room is that my hair has changed. I'm just gonna dive right into it. So I've changed my hair to Sisterlocks. I wanted to make sure that I had time set aside where I could come and really talk through how I ended up here. So, Sisterlocks. There's so much to cover. I'm not even sure where to begin, but my brain works better when I'm able to break things up. I'm gonna talk about the why, the how, and the now. That's how I'm gonna break things up. So if you're curious about what my hair care looks like right now, stick around and watch till the end of the video. That's where I'll be talking about it, but I think I'll just backtrack and start off with where things were before. So last time I filmed a video, you obviously saw that I had more traditional or smaller traditional size locks in my hair. For those that are new around here, prior to this, I had 156 smaller traditional sized locks. What this means is my locks were not your traditional size or slightly smaller. They weren't micro locks, but they were somewhere in between. I installed them with 2-strand twists. I just put 2-strand twists in my hair and let it sit. And over the years, I had locks. I started my lock journey in August of 2019. So that would have been 19 to 20, 21, 22, 23. It would have been 4 years this last August. And then of course, I restarted with the Sisterlocks, which you're seeing right now, which I'll talk a little bit about. I love locks. I will always be an advocate for locks. That's why I still have a different form of locks right now. I started to think about whether I wanted to do this or not earlier of 2023. I would say mostly mid 2023, and there are quite a few different factors that influence this. Number one, I knew at some point I needed to restart my set of locks because I had just done so much damage to them. I started off this journey wanting to have healthy hair practices and really wanting to take care of my hair, but the itch in me, the creative in me was always looking for a way to experiment with my hair, which is not a bad thing, but I find that I was just not approaching it in the most healthiest way possible. So if you've been along this journey, you'll know that I dyed my hair quite a few times. I bleached it. And then when I was impatient, when my hair was growing out, I wore my hair in very tight ponytails, just wanting to wear my hair in a style which created traction alopecia. If I'm to show you this side of my hair, my edges are still trying to make a comeback, but it's a slow growing journey. Along with that, I had postpartum shedding, which really impacted my edges. Then I had the nerve to try and dye my hair again. So I think it would have been in November, I dyed my hair jet black again. I just couldn't stop with the hair dye. At some point, I dabbled with edge controls. There was just a lot that I did. And for my hair, I just need to leave it. And I think that's a lot of our hairs. If we just leave it and use the products that are as clean as possible and are actually doing something for our hair, then our hair will be fine. And that's essentially what the lock lifestyle is. I don't subscribe to the Rastafarian practice, but when you look at their view of hair, it's about a lifestyle of freedom, just letting your hair do what it needs to do. And I think that that's the part that we've lost in the Black and brown communities, where we're just doing so much with our hair to the point where our hair almost feels like a burden, or it just feels like we always have to do something. We've made an identity out of it, which for me just that's really the heart behind this channel and me just sharing this information. It's not about hair for cosmetic purposes. It's not about anything vain. And maybe for some, this might look like vain content, but really trying to restore the fact that we are more than our hair, and our hair is a beautiful asset to us and doesn't need so much to care for. It will flourish. It will grow. As we've seen, if you're a locked girly or a locked guy, you'll see that your hair thrives when it's left alone. So I dabbled with what to do. At some point, I thought that I would just cut my locks off and start a fresh new set. Then I started thinking deeper about where am I right now. I started thinking about lifestyle and where I was in life and just kind of what I needed in a hair care routine. Now, I was self-maintaining my locks, but I ended up getting my hair retightened by a loctician towards the end of the summer, and I liked that I could just get a break. My life has just gotten way busier, and one of the values I have right now is just being able to save on time. So I thought, okay, I can get my hair retightened. But as I was doing that, I just wasn't happy with the state of my hair. I knew that my hair was damaged, and I just felt like, what's the point? You know, even though it may not have looked damaged, I knew that I did a lot to it that didn't help it end up in its healthiest state. The hair in the front of my hair too just was not locking the way it needed to, and I knew a lot of that had to do with the bleaching and the chemical treatments. Now, some people's hair might be able to do well with everything that I did. Some people may not even have any impact on it, but my hair just wasn't handling it very well. So I knew at some point I would either cut them off, or I would just have either cut everything off, or I'd have to cut them off little by little. If you saw, I cut my hair up until chin length last summer, hoping to just slowly cut it off until the newer hair grew out, that I had a healthier set of locks. For me, I'm like, what's the point of having locks if you don't have a healthy set of locks in your hair? Because our hair doesn't shed when it's in a locked state. All that hair is just staying. And for me, just thinking about the fact that I'm walking around with damaged hair on my head 24/7, that started to bother me. And then just even seeing my edges starting to struggle just because of the practices I had put in place before, just wasn't good for me. The biggest factors was the health and the state of my hair, and then just thinking about what I needed in a hairstyle right now. So right now I'm in a place where I don't have the time, so I need somebody to be able to retighten my hair for me. So this December I ended up going to Kenya, and prior to going to Kenya, I was just looking around for options of what I could do with my hair. I knew I was cutting my hair and starting a fresh new set of locks, but then I came across a video of somebody who had combed their locks out. And actually there are quite a few videos out there of people who are combing their locks out right now. My hesitation was that I was going to lose a lot of hair, and I probably wouldn't have any hair left. And that's why some people will just choose to cut their locks off, because it may not be worth it to try and comb them out, because you may be left with no hair. So I played around with that, and I actually combed out a lock myself in the back of my head just to see what it would look like. And I split it into, because at that point I was like, I think I want a fuller set of locks. That's another thing too. My hair wasn't as full as I wanted it to be, and this wasn't because my hair wasn't thick. This was because I had damaged my hair so much that it was looking quite thin. It literally looked like I had 10 pieces of hair on my head, and I had 156 locks. When I would tell people I had 156 locks, they were shocked, because they're like, it looks like you have less. And it really did look like I have less. And of course hair density will factor into that, but there's a look that I was looking for that I just wasn't achieving at that particular point. So once I started seeing people comb out their locks, I tried to comb out one. It took me forever, and I was like, absolutely not. I cannot do this, because at this point, as I mentioned, time is something that I just don't have. So when I was going to Kenya, I looked up some salons there, and I happened to find one salon that could comb out locks. But I didn't want to leave my hair in its natural state. I knew that I wanted to relock my hair, but this time around I thought, why not try Sisterlocks? Because I knew that Sisterlocks would be able to grab all the hairs in the front of my head, so I would be able to get a fuller look. And because now I'm committing to going to somebody to do my hair, then I thought, well, might as well have somebody do my hair now. It might as well be Sisterlocks, since I'll be going anyways. And then I thought about the versatility and of the hairstyle itself. So I made the decision to undo my locks when I got to Kenya. So the process was, I arrived there, and it was a whole day process. They sat me down they put conditioner, they washed my hair, put conditioner in my hair, had it sit for about 30 minutes. And then they had a big bucket, and I wish I didn't film this content because I actually didn't think I would come back and share about it. And also it was quite uncomfortable to film just because the setup didn't permit for me to film at that time. They had a large container with hair conditioner next to them. There were 4 people that worked on my hair. from around 9:30 a.m. in the morning up until 6-7 p.m. in the evening. They would rotate. So sometimes there would be 2 people, sometimes there would be 3, sometimes there would be 4, but there were multiple people working on my hair. And what they would do, the conditioner that was in my hair for 30 minutes stayed there. They would continue to add conditioner as they combed out each individual lock. It was not a painful process. I lost so much hair. I'm surprised I even have hair on my head right now, but it was done. And after that, they just washed my hair. They blow dried it, which I really wish they didn't, but that's what it is. And then my hair was out. I'm gonna insert a picture of what my hair looked like afterwards, but after my hair was done, I knew that I was not going to keep my hair as a loose natural. My hair actually retained quite a bit of length, but something that I did notice is my hair, like maybe the first, like the bottom 2 inches of my hair were fine, but the ends of my hair were quite thin. And that's, you might notice this in my Sisterlocks right now, which right here, it's quite thin. And then the base of it is thick, but it's fine because I can always snip those off or cut those off as the hair grows. So I stayed with my hair loose for 24 hours or even less than 24 hours. And I knew at that point that I was not keeping loose natural hair. I love the lock lifestyle. I love the way locks look. I love the way locks feel. I love everything about locks. So I'm locked in. This is it for me until who knows when. This is the style I'm gonna stick to. So that's the why behind why I did what I did. So afterwards, that particular shop was supposed to install my Sisterlocks the next day, but they had told me that it's a 2-day install. I didn't have time because I was flying back to the States in the next three days. So I needed somebody who could do it in 1 day. I didn't know if it was possible or not, but thank God I found one person who was amazing. He did my locks in 2020 when I was in Kenya again and did such an amazing job. If you're in Kenya, Anto Hair Arts. I'm gonna link his information in the description box so you can check him out. He does house calls, can do hair, and he does it amazingly. Now he came and I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I'd like to get Sisterlocks installed. And he said he could do it and he could do it in 1 day. We would just need to start really early in the morning, and we did it the whole day. So that shop, I ended up letting them know that I'm not gonna be coming back here. And I wasn't a fan of the customer service either. I'm really big about whoever touches my hair, whoever does my hair, the vibe has to be right. So after that, the next day, Anthony came the next morning and installed my Sisterlocks. Now here's the thing. I'm very hesitant to call my locks Sisterlocks because I know the community is very, very, very prickly in particular, and this is just me making a generalization, not saying that this is everybody. This is why, because Sisterlocks are trademarked and you have to get them done and installed, my understanding, by somebody who is certified to install Sisterlocks. Otherwise, people I've seen are calling them, they're not, I think they're smaller than micro locks, but I've seen people call their Sisterlocks micro locks. So whether the loctician I did it with or not was certified or not, I did not verify that information, but he did a good job in my opinion, and I'll insert pictures of what things or video of what things look like after he was done. Now, what are Sisterlocks and what's the difference between them and traditional size locks? Sisterlocks were created in 1993 by Dr. Joanne Cornwell. These formed because she was trying to provide an option for women of color to wear their hair that was chemical free and extension free. Sisterlocks are installed by the interlocking method. So if you saw how I used to interlock my new growth, they start from the end of the hair and they interlock the hair all the way to the base of the strand. And that's how you get your Sisterlocks. They range from about 240 to 400 plus. So they are many in number. And in terms of appearance, they tend to mimic a loose natural hairstyle rather than a locked style. So for those that are wondering what Sisterlocks are, that's what they are. So this is what I ended up with once I was done. And Anthony did mention that I did lose quite a bit of hair, especially towards the middle of my hair, because the people who were removing the locks, they were just trying to get this thing done. And I feel like at some point they were so over it, they were just doing what they could do. The one who was working on this side of my head was very careful and undid it like she was undoing braids. But I know there were two of them who were just trying to get it done, which I don't blame them because even I was trying to get them done. I'm going to be transparent with the cost of things. So I paid $100 in Kenyan shillings to get the locks removed. My install costed like 200 and something dollars. So this is what I'm left with right now. And this is what my locks look like. To be completely honest with you, I've done very minimal research on Sisterlocks, but I'm gonna learn as I go. The things that I know that I'm not going to do is color my hair, and I know that I'm not going to overstyle my hair. My hair is literally like this. If it's not like this, I'm doing a braid out and I'm using it for more volume. I've learned from the first time that I had locks that just leave it alone and it'll be fine. It's also helpful that I had locks before because I'm patient with this journey. I remember looking like I had 3 pieces of hair on my head. So I'm perfectly okay with it right now because I know that eventually it's gonna come through and it's gonna look nice. So locks really teach you patience on another level. Prior to getting my locks that I had before, I went to a Sisterloctician, somebody who did Sisterlocks, and she installed some test locks on the side of my hair, wanted me to come back after 1 week to see how they held up in my hair, to look at the pattern, look and see what my hair was doing. I just never came back because in between that time, I decided that I wanted larger locks. So during that time, she taught me about the care, how you want to avoid putting moisturizing products in your hair. In the beginning, you want to braid and band. So the downside of not going to somebody who's certified to do Sisterlocks is you won't get all that information, and you'll likely have to rely on the internet, or if you end up going to somebody who's going to retighten your locks, to share that information with you. So I am approaching this with a posture of learning. I'm not an expert, and here we are again where I get to share this journey with you. Again, I've been searching on the internet for how to have healthy hair in Sisterlocks. I'm not finding the information that I'm looking for. So I think this opens up a space for me to return again and share this journey with you and kind of share what I'm learning about hair health. And really my focus is hair health. So what I've been doing so far really is just leaving my hair like this. I make sure I sleep with a bonnet. The bonnet that I've been using is Danielle from LOCS So Fine's bonnet. It stays on the whole night, which I don't know how. It's been so amazing for me this time. And the reason why I'm so committed to it also is because I had lint before, and it's because I just used to sleep anyhow, anyway, without anything covering my hair. So I've learned, and I'm using the lessons that I learned from my first set of locks with these just to make sure that I have a healthy set and that the labor and the journey is not in vain. Of course, things happen and that's how we learn. But for me this time, it's really important that I get it right. Other than that, I'm spraying the Faida Naturals Rosewater Mist on my scalp for scalp care. I am noticing that I'm getting a lot of dandruff. That's because I haven't touched my scalp. I am too nervous about putting anything in my hair just yet. I'm in the search for a loctician right now who can maintain my hair ongoing. And with that, I'm just gonna have more discussions about products to use, what to use. And I hope to formulate some products specifically for Sisterlocks or smaller locks as I go on, because I see that there is a need. Again, my main thing is hair health, just making sure that whatever I'm putting in my hair is actually nourishing it and doing something to it. For it. I think that is what I have. I don't know how many locks I have on my hair. I don't know if I have the patience or if I'm motivated to count them because there's so many, but I want to show you what my hair looks like right now so you can get a closer look of it. So this is it 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks post install. So they're still pretty stiff. It's just like regular hair because that's what hair looks like before it locks. Once it locks, it'll drop and take shape. This is what the back looks like. They were able to grab all of these, except I feel like I'm experiencing some bunching back here, some unraveling as well. I'm just gonna have to do better care, but I think you'll be able to see what I was talking about when I said it's thin at the end, because that's just where I lost hair. So some of my locks are stronger than others. I wonder too if this was the best way to go about it, considering that smaller locks can be very sensitive and they're very, for lack of better words, needy. But this was the best option for me. If you are considering undoing your locks, it's possible that you can undo them by yourself. I just didn't have the time to do it, but when I did one, it took a while, but it was possible. So it's something that I definitely recommend if you're thinking about it. I'm very happy with these set of locks. I'm happy with the process. I'm happy with how things turned out, and I look forward to a healthier hair journey. Now, while I still have the damaged hair on my head right now, I think it'll just grow out. Like, my new growth is already starting to come in. That's another thing about locks. They grow so fast because you're not doing much. You're not over manipulating. You're not putting products that are impacting the growth of your hair. On top of that, there's a lifestyle. So this year, I hope to share on my channel just some lifestyle things that I'm doing to help support healthy hair growth, because we're looking at wellness overall. It's not just about how our hair looks, but we want to make sure that wellness is taken into consideration all around. So that's what I have for you in terms of locks. Please ask questions before. I actually have a question. If you have sister locks, please let me know. I'm curious about the ratio of traditional size versus sister locks versus whatever you have in your hair, or thinking about locks, or maybe just start a lock journey. Share with me where you are on your lock journey, because that helps me know what kind of content to produce and what would be helpful for the community. But thank you so much for watching this video. Wish you all the best, and we'll see each other in the next video. Take care. Bye.